So this is medial surface, and to study lateral ventricle along with its different horn and its relation with the basal ganglia, thalami and internal capsule, we are going to take coronal sections at different level. So coronal sections are taken at 4 different level. One, at this genu of corpus callosum, which is just in front of this optic chiasma here. The next coronal section is taken at the level of optic chiasma. Third coronal section is at the level of mammillary body, and the last section is at the level of splenium of corpus callosum. So coming to section at the level of or in front of optic chiasma at the level of genu, the section is this. So this is coronal section at the level of genu of corpus callosum, just in front of optic chiasma. Here we will be able to see anterior horns of lateral ventricle. So these two are anterior horns of lateral ventricle, and this part is genu. You will be able to see cingulate gyrus and cingulate sulcus. And from this anterior aspect of corpus callosum, we will be able to see the extension which is going towards frontal pole is forceps minor. Now next is the section at the level of optic chiasma. Here you will be able to see the cut section of optic chiasma. So this is longitudinal fissure. Deep down we will be able to see the body of corpus callosum. This is septum pellucidum, which is separating these two anterior horns of lateral ventricle. This is lateral sulcus, and deep down this is insular cortex, and this is inferior horn of lateral ventricle. This is anterior limb of internal capsule. Here we can see the head of caudate nucleus. So here we have head of caudate nucleus. This is anterior limb of internal capsule, and this laterally we have lentiform nucleus, part of basal ganglia. So this is lentiform nucleus. Coming to the next section, this is the section at the level of mammillary body. Here we will be able to see, now these are bodies of lateral ventricle which are separated by septum pellucidum. These two are thalami, and this thalami, this cavity is third ventricle. This is genu and posterior limb of internal capsule. On the lateral side we will be able to see clear cut lentiform nucleus. This is globus pallidus, and this is putamen. This is lateral sulcus, insular cortex. This is coiled hippocampus. These coiled structures are hippocampi, and this is inferior horn of lateral ventricle. Here you will be able to see subthalamus. This darker area is subthalamus, third ventricle, body of lateral ventricle. So this is subthalamus, darker area. Okay, now we have seen the hippocampus. So we will continue hippocampus. Here you will be able to see we have dissected the brain transversely. This is hippocampus, which will continue as alveus, fimbria and crura. So the hippocampus of two sides, this is hippocampus and this is also hippocampus, and then hippocampi from two sides will continue as fimbria and crura. These two crura will join to form this body of fornix, and this is located just below the septum pellucidum. So this is body of fornix. In front, this body will divide into two columns which are separated by anterior commissure. So here you will be able to see anterior commissure. So this is anterior commissure. This is pre and post commissural fibers of fornix. Now these two are lateral ventricles. This is septum pellucidum. This is head of caudate nucleus. This is body and then tail. This is anterior horn of lateral ventricle, posterior horn and inferior horn of lateral ventricle. You will be able to see the choroid plexus which are going into inferior horn. Here you will be able to see calcareous, that is eminence of calcarine sulcus,
which we will see again in posterior horn.
Now coming to the last section. So this is section at the splenium. So this is splenium, then continues as forceps major into the occipital lobe. Here you will be able to see the tectum part of midbrain. This is inferior horn. This is inferior horn, and this continues behind as a posterior horn. So here we will be able to see the bulge of forceps major. Then these fibers are of tapetum.